Hello and welcome to Nattie's Crafts. I'm Natalie. I always do all the crafting. And today I think we're going to make a piece of table decor, something that you would put like candles in or florals in or something like that, I think. I saw She's So Crafty made something and she put it as a YouTube short, I believe. I'm going to try to link it down below if I can find it again. I have trouble finding shorts, but if I search for her, I'll find it. So I'll try to put that below. So I think we're going to do somewhat of a dupe off her, except for it will be different because my stuff is always different. Anyway, so give the video a big thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. Be sure to subscribe. When you subscribe, you should hit the bell so you know when the next video comes out. All right, I think that's everything. Let's go ahead and go take a look.
All right, so here are the items we're going to need to make our little box that I kind of got inspired by She's So Crafty's short that she had made the other day. So some of these items you don't need, but I thought I figured I'd show everything so that I don't miss out. So we're going to use mostly Dollar Tree products here, everything but those 4 Jenga blocks, which we ended up not using anyway. So this whole craft is indeed made by Dollar Tree items. So first is the little wood cutting board. Oh, and do we all know now that Dollar Tree is going up in prices soon? Yeah, that's scary. I had one of these other cutting boards that I had practiced when I first got my wood burning tool. I had practiced on this cutting board, and it's kind of cute. So I'm going to use that as the bottom of my little box that I'm making. Here I was trying to figure out how I wanted to actually make it. So I was using these Jenga blocks thinking that would make it taller, but then I scrapped that idea because it just wasn't working. It just wasn't going to do what I wanted it to do. So I got rid of that idea. So what we're going to do after we've got it all figured out how we're going to make it, I'm going to size it out because some of these blocks are going to have to be cut in order to fit on the cutting board properly. So one on each side is going to have to be, actually 2, I should say, 2 on each side will have to be cut. So I'm just kind of measuring those out to figure out how long they need to be and what I need to cut off. And the same is true for the side here. One will need to be cut down. So I'm going to start off by gluing these together. Now I'm one of these crazy people that I want the design on the block to match the blocks next to it. So I went through and I picked out all the blocks that I like the most and I put them in order in the way that I like them to look, and that's how I'm gluing them together. Now, if you're not so crazy about this as I am, then you don't have to do any of that. But I spent the extra like 20 minutes figuring out which blocks I wanted to go next to each other. And then we're literally just gluing them end to end. We'll do 2 rows of 4 on each of the long sides of the cutting board. And then we're going to do 2 rows of 3, I think the other side was. No, 2 rows of 2 on the other sides. And again, it's basically I'm making a border for my little box, which hence makes it into a box. So I'm going to just do the same thing again, just making that long piece there with the 4 blocks. And then we are going to need to glue on a little piece at the end, but we'll do that a little bit later. And then I'm going to glue those together. Now the glue I'm using is wood hot glue. I do recommend using wood hot glue. It does seem to work better. And then we're going to do the short walls. So just 2 blocks glued together and then another 2 on top of that, so that 4 blocks end up being glued together. And again, me and my craziness, got to make it look good. Got to make those stripes go the way I want them to go. Okay, so we do that twice. And then we're done. And then we're going to have to cut these blocks. Now, there's many ways you can cut a block, right? You could use one of those little hand saws. You could use a rotary tool if you had the cutting blade. You could use all kinds of things. I'm going to use this little hand, what is it called? Miter. It's not a miter saw because it's not a saw. I don't know what this is, but they were popular, I don't know, a couple years back, and everyone was getting them, and I didn't want to spend $30 or $40 on it, so I got mine on Temu. It's not real strong, but my hands have healed enough, and I'm on enough medications that I could actually get through the block. So, you do have to find a way to cut the blocks. You can get this from Temu. It will take a little time to cut through it, but it does cut through it. So once we have our little ends cut, then we're going to again glue some pieces together. Because everything we make basically has to be 2 blocks tall, if that makes sense. And then we're going to glue the little piece onto the long edge. And then we're going to glue the long edge onto the cutting board. I wanted it to go all the way to the edge of the cutting board. So that's why I made the size that I made, to make sure that it goes all the way to the edges. And then we'll do the same thing for the side pieces. And the side pieces I also cut some shorter blocks as well. And we're just going to glue this all together. And you could, of course, use wood glue instead of wood hot glue. Of course, that would make your box last a lot longer. I do not need everything that I make to last 100 years, so I'm okay if I can pull it apart in a year, I'm okay with that, typically. And when you're making this, make sure that you measure properly. You can see mine is a little bit crooked. I messed up my measurement a little bit. And then this part, I kind of wish I didn't do this. But I'm going to put a little edge on my little box. So I'm going to use one of these Dollar Tree snakes. And I couldn't cut into it for some reason. It seems to just be paper that's holding it together, but some reason I couldn't cut it. So I end up grabbing a knife. What is it called? A cutter. I don't know what it's called. A knife. Utility knife. And I cut it to the size that I needed to make it fit on the box. And one snake will do 2 edges. So one short edge and one long edge is what the snake will cover. Almost as if Dollar Tree knew what they were doing when they made the snake length. And because I am the way I am, I have to add some black. So I'm going to just paint the very bottom rim, the cutting board basically, the cutting board edge, black. I'm going to leave the box itself as the natural wood and not cover that at all. I didn't even put Mod Podge on here. I just left it all natural, completely natural. And then I'm going to paint the little snake pieces. And again, I don't know, I probably would skip this part if I were to ever do this again. I would skip the snake part. But if you wanted to do it, this is what I did. I painted in black. And maybe I would have liked it more if I would have left it the natural color. Maybe. I don't know. And then we're going to put it all together. So my box is all complete. It's dry. My snake pieces are dry. So now I'm going to glue it all together. And that's the good thing about the wood hot glue, is that as soon as you put it on there, press it down for just a few seconds and you're good to go. Versus regular wood glue, you'd have to wait for it to dry like overnight in order for it to stay the way you want it. So I'm just adding all the pieces onto the top. And there we go. And I was looking at it thinking, yeah, I don't like it. I don't like the snake part. It looks okay. It looks interesting. It's just not my favorite. I like it like that better with the leaves and the candle inside it to cover it up a little bit. I like that. I thank you so much for stopping by Natty's Crafts today. I sure hope that you give the video a big thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. Make sure to subscribe. When you subscribe, you should hit the bell so you know when the next video comes out. Thank you so much for stopping by. Be sure to appreciate today, as tomorrow is never promised. Thanks, y'all. Y'all have a great one.